Om Namo Narayana, welcome back. We are on chapter 30, the activities of the Pracetas. So this is the next to the last chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam. I don't think I'm going to get to the whole chapter today, but we'll see how much we do. Vidura inquired from sage Maitreya, O Brahmana, you formerly spoke about the sons of Prasanabhari and informed me that they satisfied the Supreme Lord by chanting a song composed by Lord Shiva. What did they achieve in this way? What did the sons of King Parishad, known as the Pracetas, obtain after meeting Lord Shiva, who is very dear to the Lord, the bestower of liberation? Certainly they were transferred to the spiritual world, but apart from that, what did they obtain within this material world, either in this life or in other lives? The sage Maitreya responded, The sons of King Prasanabhari, known as the Pracetas, underwent severe austerities within the sea-water to carry out the order of their father. By chanting and repeating the mantras given by Lord Shiva, they were able to satisfy Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. At the end of 10,000 years of severe austerities performed by them, the Supreme Personality, to reward their austerities, appeared before them in his very pleasing form. This appealed to them and satisfied the labor of their austerities. Lord Vishnu, appearing on the shoulder of Garuda, seemed like a cloud resting on the summit of the mountain known as Meru. The transcendental body of the Lord was covered by attractive yellow garments, and his neck was decorated with the jewel known as the Kaustubhamani. The bodily effulgence of the Lord dissipated all the darkness of the universe. His face was very beautiful, and his head was decorated with a shining helmet and golden ornaments. The helmet was dazzling, and was very beautifully situated on his head. The Lord had 8 arms, which each held a particular weapon. He was surrounded by demigods, great sages, and other associates. They were all engaged in his service. Garuda, the carrier of the Lord, glorified the Lord with Vedic hymns by flapping his wings. Garuda appeared to be an inhabitant of the planet known as Kinaraloka. Around the neck of Lord Vishnu hung a flower garland that reached to his knees. His 8 stout and elongated arms were decorated with that garland, which challenged the beauty of the goddess of fortune even. With a merciful glance and a voice like thunder, the Lord addressed the sons of the king, who were very much surrendered unto him. He said, My dear sons of the king, I am very much pleased by the friendly relationships among you. All of you are engaged in one occupation, devotional service. I am so pleased with your mutual friendship that I wish you all good fortune. Now you may ask a benediction of me. Those who remember you every evening of every day will become friendly with their brothers and with all other living entities. Those who will offer me the prayers composed by Lord Shiva, both in the morning and in the evening, will be given benedictions by me. In this way they can both fulfill their desires and attain good intelligence. Because you have, with pleasure, accepted within your hearts the orders of your father and have executed those orders very faithfully, your attractive qualities will be celebrated all over the world. You will have a nice son, who will be in no way inferior to Lord Brahma. Consequently, he will be very famous all over the universe, and the sons and the grandsons generated by him will fill 3 worlds. The heavenly society girl named Pramaloka kept the lotus-eyed daughter of Kandu in the care of the forest trees. Then she went back to the heavenly planet. This daughter was born by the coupling of the Apsara named Pramaloka with the sage Kandu. Thereafter the child who was left to the care of the trees began to cry in hunger. At that time the king of the forest, namely the king of the moon planet, out of compassion placed his finger, which poured forth nectar, within the child's mouth. Thus the child was raised by the mercy of the king of the moon. Since all of you are very much obedient to my orders, I ask you to immediately marry that girl, who is so well qualified with beauty and good qualities. According to the order of your father, create progeny through her. You brothers are all of the same nature, being my devotees and obedient sons of your father. Similarly, the girl is also of the same type and is dedicated to all of you. Thus both the girl and you are on the same platform, being united on a common principle. The Lord then blessed all the Pracetas, saying, My dear princess, by my mercy you can enjoy all the faculties of this world as well as the heavenly world. Indeed, you can enjoy all of them without hindrance and with full strength for 1,000,000 celestial years. Thereafter you will develop unadulterated devotional service unto me and be freed from all material contamination. At that time, being completely unattached to material enjoyment in the so-called heavenly planets as well as the hellish planets, you will return home, back to Godhead. Those who are engaged in auspicious activities in devotional service certainly understand that the ultimate enjoyer or beneficiary of all activities is the Lord. Thus, when one acts, he offers the results to the Lord and passes life always engaged in the topics of the Lord. Even though such a person may be participating in family life, he is not affected by the results of his actions. Always engaging in the activities of devotional service, devotees feel ever increasingly fresh and new in all their activities. The All-Knower, the Supersoul, within the heart of the devotee makes everything increasingly fresh. This is known as the Brahma position by the advocates of the Absolute Truth. In such a liberated stage, one is never bewildered, nor does one lament or become unnecessarily jubilant. This is due to the Brahma Bhuta situation. The great sage Maitreya said, after Lord Vishnu spoke thus, the Pracetas began to offer him prayers. The Lord is the bestower of all success in life and is the supreme benefactor. He is also the supreme friend who takes away all miserable conditions experienced by a devotee. In a faltering voice due to ecstasy, the Pracetas began to offer prayers. They were purified by the presence of the Lord who was before them face to face. So I'm actually going to pause here right before they start speaking, just on verse 21. So if you do your austerities, and you worship and you pray, you may find yourself facing the Lord. It also promotes, I'm believing, it's not bigamy, because that's the marriage of more than one wife. This is marriage of more than one husband to one woman. Little odd, but oh well, so it goes. The Lord does what the Lord wants to do. Not going to say too much about this. I think it says what it needs to say, and I have nothing to add to it. But if you do, you know the routine. So thank you, as always, for watching. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.